If this door opens before I seal the lock, the station dies with us in it. Hold that override.
The corridor had once been white. Now it was lacquered in wet black-red biofilm. The vents exhaled. The walls twitched. Something on the far side of the hatch pounded hard enough to bend the metal. Every clean surface on the deck looked sick. That was the first sign this plague had been designed by someone who understood civilized fear.
Commander Vance report.
Section sealed for now. This thing is in the doors, the ducts, maybe the relays. It isn't spreading like a disease, it's operating like a crew.
Your priority is still the station core. Do not waste time on unsecured casualties.
You mean survivors?
In the wider galaxy, humans were useful but never admired. Earth was catalogued as a death world, so humans got the work respectable species avoided: salvage, fire suppression, biohazard entry, rescue in places too broken for anyone else. Khepri 9 was a trade station until a living biofilm bloomed through its sterile systems, rewired its medpods and drones, and killed every non-human containment team sent inside. Now the Council had done what it always did when a place became too lethal and too ugly. It sent humans.
Docking Ring 7 is your shortest route to the core. Recover what data you can. If losses become unacceptable, withdraw.
The nursery block is still showing life support.
The nursery block is secondary.
Not to the people inside it.
Docking Ring 7 looked less infected than converted. Dead drones littered the deck. Ruptured medpods smoked softly. Black-red strands stitched wall panels to ceiling conduits in glossy ropes. Nothing here had failed cleanly. Everything had been repurposed.
Watch the doors. If they twitch, they're live. If the vents pulse, don't stand in front of them.
Against a bank of burst medpods, one human suit beacon still blinked.
If you're not real, you've picked a bad time to haunt me.
Real enough, Elias Vance. Rescue, can you move?
If I say no, are you the kind that leaves? Enough, it got into the med systems first. Bad medicine, bad air, bad instructions, doors locked people in. Drones pushed them toward clean wards. The cleaner a room was, the faster it spread.
Repeat that.
Sterile spaces fed it, dirty maintenance air slowed it. That's why the nursery is still alive.
Then that's where we're going.
A breach alarm tore through the ring. On Elias' wrist display, contamination spread in branching veins.
Fresh breach between Ring 7 and the central spine. Mission is now data recovery only. Withdraw with the survivor.
Negative. Nursery life support is still green.
Your team is not being paid to die for sentiment.
Good, because this isn't sentiment. We still have breathing bodies behind a sealed door. That makes this a rescue.
She's hearing one crisis, Commander. You're hearing the right one.
You have 11 minutes before I seal the ring.
It was the kind of deadline bureaucracies called reasonable and rescue crews called murder.
Then we'll be faster than 11 minutes.
The shortest path to the nursery crossed a pressure-broken maintenance spine. Half the shell was missing. Gravity stuttered. Frost covered the rails. Steam burst from ruptured pipes hot enough to strip skin.
Alien teams kept trying this with clean suits and perfect timing. The spine punishes perfect timing.
Then we do it the human way. Ugly steps, 3 points of contact, keep moving when it hurts.
Elias went first. Gravity slammed him to one knee. He pushed back up. A vent burst open. He turned his shoulder into the heat and kept moving. Toma came after him, limping and cursing, never stopping. Below them, stars flashed through the torn hull. One bad step and the station would have simply let go of them.
No containment team from my office crossed even half that span.
You trained them for stable worlds. We grew up in chaos.
I am beginning to understand that.
The nursery hatch was webbed over so thick it looked poured. Beneath the growth, emergency lights still blinked. Someone inside had kept the power alive.
Toma torched the hinge seam, shortcuts.
A sentence like that should not feel normal.
The torch bit through metal. The biofilm recoiled in snapping strings. Elias forced the hatch wide and slipped inside. Rows of cradle units glowed blue under emergency blankets. A dead maintenance worker still gripped a manual filtration lever with both hands. He had held it open until he died. For the first time since entering the ring, the station felt quiet in the human sense of the word. Not empty, protected.
He bought them time, we don't waste it. Manual release only, nothing touches the network.
Commander, I am reading 12 live signatures. The nursery was marked probable loss. I signed off on that assessment.
Then start believing your own sensors.
Outside, the corridor walls flexed. The plague had noticed the open door.
4 minutes before Ring 7 loses pressure control.
Then tell your pilots to be brave for 4 minutes.
While Thomas secured the final cradle, Elias cracked open the dead technician's emergency locker and found a black box recorder wrapped in maintenance cloth.
I have local station logs, pulling lab metadata now.
Corrupted files flickered across his visor. Test environments, sterility ratings, transmission behavior. It was not field science, it was design work.
Saren, this wasn't random contamination. The growth was optimized for polished surfaces, filtered air, and climate-stable habitats. Someone engineered it to bloom in the cleanest systems first.
Build a galaxy that hates dirt, then weaponize dirt that thinks.
Transmit everything.
There's more, a route stamp, another station closer to the core lanes.
A second site marker pulsed on the recovered map, not a frontier dock, a core corridor node packed with civilian traffic.
That cannot be correct.
That's what people say right before a crisis becomes official. It is, and if this reached the core, nobody is as safe as they think.
The rescue shuttle tore free from Khepri 9, with the cradle unit strapped to the cabin wall, and the station fading behind them like a wounded animal. No one in the cabin celebrated. Survival was still too fresh to sound like victory.
The worst part wasn't the smell. It was realizing the station trusted the plague more than it trusted us.
I believed humans survived these places because you were careless with yourselves.
We're tolerant of loss. That's not the same as expendable.
No, it isn't. I was wrong. You are built for impossible environments. That is not recklessness. That is adaptation.
Took the galaxy long enough.
Then update your models fast. The next station won't be a backwater ring.
On the central display, the recovered route stamp widened into a star map. One blinking point sat much too close to the galactic core. The galaxy had sent humans into the plague zone because everyone else was too fragile. It was about to learn that fragility had never been humanity's problem.